And Mitra, mitigation. That's what this defense is trying to prove to save the life of Nikolas Cruz. They call this particular witness, and you hear that he was trying to convince Cruz, let's make a movie. We want you to make a movie of this massacre. How does that affect the credibility of this witness to the jury, in your opinion?
Any credibility that this witness had, that this neighbor had, is wiped out the door, because you can even hear the tone in this recording. So 10 years before he cuts off Nikolas Cruz and his mother, this happens, and instead of sort of maintaining this distance that he had, that was for very valid reasons, now this worse incident happens, and now he's reaching out and finding it in his heart to come to terms and forgive. It's not a good look, and his tone in that recording is really off-putting. So I don't think that that's something that is really helpful in the minds of the jury.
And I can't figure out what the defense was trying to achieve through this witness. I think the defense has done such a phenomenal job with their strategy, starting with the very first witness, the best friend of the mother, talking about what the mother was doing when she was pregnant with Nikolas, and then chronologically showing all these different circumstances and situations, really to garner the sympathy of the jury and explain why Ethan has had nothing good really in his life in terms of the things that have happened to him and lack of services. So how does this witness fit into that from your perspective? What does he offer that's going to convince the jury that Nikolas Cruz should not be put to death?
Really, what I think the intention was to really continue to paint a picture of a chaotic upbringing, a household where there wasn't enough food, where the neighbor would pick up groceries anytime he went in to get groceries for himself and drop them off, because there was never food in the fridge, or there was a padlock on the fridge so the kids wouldn't eat too much. He painted a picture of a mother who was very manipulative, who lied a lot, and you know, a brother who had issues with, you know, shoplifting and crime. And so it was important in terms of establishing that there were witnesses to what was a chaotic household, but I don't know that in light of what we just heard, any of that would be impactful.
And I know he also mentioned the bullying, and there have been other witnesses that have talked about the bullying in Nikolas Cruz. And I haven't, Mitra, had a chance to ask your opinion. At this point, I will tell you, when the prosecution stopped their aggravating circumstance, or the aggravating factors evidence, I thought there is no way that Nikolas Cruz will not get the death penalty. But then I started listening to the defense, and they're presenting this evidence of mitigation, and I thought they may have a shot. They may be able to convince at least one juror not to impose the death penalty. But what is your opinion at this point in time, knowing the defense is not done with their case, they're going to present more evidence? Do you think that they have a shot?
I would say a couple of things here. I mean, you're very correct in that the defense is doing a great job, starting at the very beginning with this idea of the polluted womb, the chaotic household, the fact that he wasn't getting the care that he needed, the fact that these issues were manifesting so early in his life. So this idea of a kid, when we've seen the children's pictures and all that, never had a shot, I think is really effective and could very possibly save him his life.
Right. We're going to have to wait and see. I appreciate you're going to stay with us next hour, because coming up, we're going to shift gears. We'll get a live report from Memphis on the killing of a